going to start, all right?
Go ahead.
Yes. So I'm calling the Lower Beach Haven Council meeting to order today, December 11th at 6 o'clock. And I will be starting the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, adequate and electronic notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board in the Beach Haven Municipal Building, on the Borough website, and mailing the same to the Beach Haven Times, the Asbury Park Press, and the Press of Atlantic City. Mrs. Ballmiller.
Here.
Ms. Lambert.
Here.
Mr. McCaffrey.
Here.
Ms. Snyder.
Here.
Mayor Davis.
Here.
Cash receipts in the current fund account for the period of November 1st through November 30th, 2023 were $3,804,648.56. Cash disbursements in the current fund account for the month of November totaled $1,179,732.20. Cash receipts in the water utility account for the period of November 1st through November 30th, 2023 were $386,521.21. Cash disbursements in the water utility account for the month of November totaled $55,511.91. Cash receipts in the sewer utility account for the period of November 1st through November 30th were $354,621.71. Cash disbursements in the sewer utility account for the month of November totaled $243,193.19, submitted by our treasurer, Shari Bowler. I just like to take a moment to make an announcement and congratulate the 2023 recipient of the Beach Haven Police Department Officer of the Year Award was Patrolman Michael McCaffrey.
Hey.
Patrolman McCaffrey was selected because of his dedication to the borough, as well as his consistently positive attitude with not only the public, but his coworkers as well. I consistently receive calls by the public that say that he goes out of his way. They tell him how pleasant Patrolman McCaffrey is, how he went above and beyond to help them in the same way, which is a very welcome change from the usual calls and comments that I received. This is written by Chief Markowski. This summer, Patrolman McCaffrey responded to a burglary in progress. When he arrived, the suspect was still in the building. Patrolman McCaffrey gave chase. While in pursuit of the suspect, Patrolman McCaffrey slipped on some broken glass and had to use his hands to brace his fall. Despite the fall, Patrolman McCaffrey continued his pursuit, eventually catching the suspect and placing him under arrest. When the pursuit ended, Patrolman McCaffrey realized he had lacerations on both of his hands from when he had fallen. Patrolman McCaffrey received several stitches in both hands. He was unfortunately out of work due to his injuries for a couple of weeks while the cuts healed. Some people would love the idea of having a couple of weeks off from this job in the summer, but Patrolman McCaffrey genuinely felt bad about not coming to work and being there for his shift. Thank you, Patrolman McCaffrey, for your perseverance, dedication, and commitment to the Borough of Beach Haven and to the members of the police department, myself, the mayor and council, and all the public as well. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
I have two meetings of minutes for approval without formal reading. I'm going to do them separately. I have the October 26th, 2023 agenda meeting.
You're doing these separately?
I'm going to do them separately. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the agenda meeting of the 26th?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And then the October 26th executive session, please.
Was there a motion to approve the executive session on the 26th of October? Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. And then we have a abstention.
Yeah. I abstain.
Thank you. All in favor besides Mr. McCaffrey?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All matters listed under item consent agenda are considered to be routine by the municipal council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds, and any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Resolution 217, returning piling bonds. 228, returning remaining police detail escrow. 229, refunding performance bond inspection fee. 230, returning dumpster bond. 232, supporting the creation of a free dangerous cable and utility pole hotline. 233, consenting to the issuance of amusement licenses for Wainwright Amusements LLC, doing business as Fantasy Island Amusement Park, for their 2024 amusement games. 234, returning street opening bonds. 236, authorizing an executive session to discuss employee contracts and ongoing litigation, Beach Haven Auto versus Borough of Beach Haven. 237, accepting employee resignation. 238, canceling sewer charges. And 239, budget transfers. And I just wanted to point out 238, canceling sewer charges. Since taking over the authority, Shari Bowler and her team have been working so hard, spending so much time, Shari herself working at home, working on the weekends to go through the billing with a fine tooth comb, and they're finding quite a bit. And so these secondary meters that are used to calculate the outdoor water use that gets credited to their sewer bill had not been properly calculated and applied to the billing for almost a year. So Shari has been going back and doing calculations and analyzing each account. There's over 90 accounts with the secondary meter that haven't been properly billed or credited. Saw the stack of paperwork that she brought to my office today. It was about 3 inches high. This resolution cancels some of the charges that were missed, the credits that were missed for half of those accounts. And it totaled about $14,000. So kudos to Shari for all that work.
Wow,
Amen.
I did not see an exhibit A that was supposed to be attached.
Yes, she was putting the final touches on it. It is about 45 accounts showing the credits for 4 quarters. And the total is $14,401.81.
So can we look at that after the meeting?
Yeah.
What- I mean, I'm one of those people, so I'm just, I don't know if I'm, when you say there were that many accounts, was that just a percentage of all the accounts, or was all the accounts not adjusted properly?
No, I think every secondary meter that was
Every
issued
secondary meter that was issued wasn't,
hadn't been
okay.
calculated and properly credited to their
okay.
bill.
And so these will be credited to these accounts?
This is the first half that she's been able to
Okay.
finish.
All right.
She wanted to do them all at once, but she didn't want to wait. She's getting a
Yeah.
lot of
Right.
calls, people asking about their credits. So this is the first half of the credits.
Yeah, I see me on there. Okay.
And then she provided the budget transfers. We're transferring about 7,500 from elections, O&E, and hepatitis B to emergency management, beach badge, mayor and council, and municipal clerk O&E to cover the cost of the mailer that's going to go out in January. And I think there's been quite a bit of discussion about maybe foregoing a paper mailer going forward. The cost is becoming prohibitive. So we're going to think about ways that we can get the information out electronically.
Great, that's great. That saves some money too. Great. All right, so we're finished with the list. Would anybody like to remove any of the resolutions from the consent agenda for further discussion?
I just have a question. What was 239 again?
I'm sorry,
239.
budget transfers.
Oh, budget transfer. Thank you.
Yeah, so we're transferring 7,500.
Okay, thank you.
No, nobody
No
wants to
questions.
remove any. Okay. So do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mrs. Ball Miller.
Yes.
Ms. Lambert.
Yes.
Mr. McCaffrey.
Yes.
Ms. Snyder.
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
I have a bill list this evening in the amount of $1,034,475.39.
All right, is there a motion to approve the bills?
Make a motion to approve the bills.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Mrs. Ball Miller.
Yes.
Ms. Lambert.
Yes.
Mr. McCaffrey.
Yes.
Ms. Snyder.
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
And there was one item for general discussion. We wanted to go over the 2024 meeting dates and times. I did send out the proposed dates for next year with the times. It was attached to the agenda if you're if you're in it
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Okay, as I asked about this before, I'll ask again. The one thing I keep hearing is that people cannot all get to see the meetings. If they're working or whatever, they would like to see, and I agree. I think for transparency, it's a very good thing that everybody's included and able to attend our meetings who wants to. And I would like to see all the starting times at 6 PM.
Unfortunately, that's a really hard time for me now that I've moved on to a different chapter in my daughter's life, who seems to run my life. My second day really starts at 7 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so 4 o'clock meeting for me. So it's more kind of personal, and I can see by the attendance here tonight that there is no one here tonight at the 6 o'clock meeting. So I don't really necessarily think it's the time of the meeting. It's usually what's on the agenda of the meeting that that makes people want to come. And which I was actually doing a little bit of research where there's not a lot of meetings that also provide the Zoom option, and we do.
Mhm.
So the Zoom option, I feel, is more than necessary for the people that cannot attend the meeting. So if there's, no one else on council that, wants to change it, I would rather stay with the 4 o'clock agenda meeting.
I tend to agree with Jamie. I think if we try to make sure that when we're voting on major issues, that they occur at the regular meetings, the 6 o'clock meetings, I think that's helpful. And I do agree that the Zoom makes a huge difference, that most people can Zoom in to those meetings. When I first started on council, the agenda meetings were at 1.
Right.
1 in the afternoon or 2, and the regular meetings were at 7. We moved them down to 6 because often they lasted so long. Sometimes we were here till 10 or 10:30 at night, and that's why we moved them to 6. So I kind of feel like they're working pretty well the way they are, but that's my personal feeling. I just assume keep it the way it is.
I also agree, though, that I think that, the agenda meeting should be for more
For
agenda
working,
discussion
exactly.
and not, doing-
Precisely, and that's what we've gotten away from, and I pointed this out several times. I mean, like, just look at that emergency meeting we had last month, and still can't figure out exactly what the emergency was, and people were upset. And it's like a 4 o'clock meeting, a week after another one, 2 days before vacation, we have another one, and yet we had to have that, and everybody's like, what's going on? What's going on?
I agree.
If we could, because I remember that when it was specified, the agenda meetings were for basically paying the bills and very, very routine matters, and they've gotten away from that. And I think it's very important because there are some important issues people want to hear, and they're like, oh, I don't get home from work till 5,
Yeah. Just for one example, the ordinances that we introduced at the last meeting, there was 4 or 5 of them. Because of the holidays, our publication schedule was not what we anticipated by 2 days, which made it, we're unable to then have the final adoption public hearing tonight. That was the plan, to have it tonight. But I don't have any other choice then, but to then put all those ordinances for public hearing and final adoption on the 28th, which is the next meeting. So it's not anything that I'm doing on purpose. Legally, I can't put them, if the publication doesn't hit the paper, I have to push it to the next meeting. So unfortunately, that's what's going to happen with this next one.
And in addition, we used to have 2 agenda meetings every month and the regular meeting. Anybody else?
Yeah, I did get some feedback about the meetings, people not being able to make them and stuff. It wasn't an overwhelming amount, but there were some concerns about that people couldn't make them.
I agree with Jamie. Certainly, if, one of our council members at this time in her life is more convenient for her or impossible for her to be here at a later time, I think that's a strong argument for keeping it at
You said Tuesday.
4.
Thursday.
I remember the 1 o'clock meetings. That was crazy. And we changed it to 4
Maybe
because
at 6.
literally you could not have a job. You had to be retired to be able to make
No,
those meetings.
nobody could run for council
Yeah.
in those days that had a job.
Exactly. But, and I don't think, I think that Jamie's right. The agenda drives the crowd. But I also think if we do take it back to, I hear what you're saying about the agenda being strictly agenda items, then potentially our council meeting, our 6 o'clock meetings could be quite lengthy and cantankerous. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm fine with it the way it is. I think it's important to remind the voters and our residents that, and to reassure them that it is not due to the fact that we're trying to slide something, under the door, in the back door. And hopefully those few people that object will eventually come to understand. So I say keep it at 4.
Okay, any other discussion on that?
No?
Okay, that's all I have for general discussion.
I mean, everything else is pretty much the same on that list.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's not. So it seems that the majority of people want to just keep it the way it is, so I guess we'll just keep it the way it is.
I would like to just make a comment that Councilman McCaffrey and I met with Chuck Cook, Mary Lee Pence, and Mark, their additional partner. We had a really good meeting. Oh, hello, Mary Lee. We will, kind of fill you in closed session, and I think it was, hopefully Mary Lee will concur that it was, I think we heard each other, and I think it went well, and I'm looking forward to just more amenably getting through this.
Nance, did you want to open it for public comment?
Oh, yeah, okay, so at this point, we'll open it to public comment. Is there anybody in the room here that wants to make a public comment? Is there anybody on Zoom?
Yes. Mary Lee Pence.
Okay,
Good evening, everybody. Mary Lee Pence, 314 Bradley Avenue, Rockville, Maryland. Just wanted to come on for just a minute to say publicly thank you to both Kitty and Mike for meeting with us last Thursday. Agree with what Kitty said. It was a very professional meeting, and I just commend both of you for doing what I think is the harder thing, and that's sitting at a table across from people, talking about a difficult topic. So thank you both for the time. Thank you both for your professionalism, and we're looking forward to continuing to communicate. And like you said, I'm hoping to be able to reach, some kind of agreement here and work through any outstanding questions you guys have. So thank you.
thank you.
Mary Lee.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else on Zoom that would like to speak?
I don't have any other hands raised, no.
All right, so I'll close the floor to public comment. And
Did you want to take final remarks now before executive
Yes.
session? Okay.
okay, so we'll have last remarks by Final remarks by council. Jamie, do you want to go first?
Yeah, really nothing much to say. Wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and enjoy time with your family and friends.
Also, that's exactly what I was going to say. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, happy whatever you're celebrating, and enjoy the season again with your family and friends. Thank you.
Kitty?
Exactly. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays. Enjoy your families and have a wonderful, healthy, happy 2024. Hard to believe.
Right? We still have one more meeting.
Yeah, I just want to say happy holidays to everybody and everybody be safe out there.
Okay.
That's it.
We have one more meeting, sorry.
Oh,
Moving on.
Is that it?
that's it.
And I just want to say happy holidays as well, but I want to thank everybody in the borough that's worked so hard to make our town look beautiful. The lights in the park and along the streets are lovely. It's a pleasure to come into town. It's exciting. I want to thank the community arts group for the Christmas tree lighting and the wonderful event, which happened a couple Saturdays ago. I would like to thank all our employees for being so positive and helpful to everybody. We certainly have a wonderful town that we live in, and we can be very thankful to be here and have the kind of community spirit that we have. It's been exciting to see the number of people coming on the weekends and visiting our stores and enjoying the weather, even though it was terrible yesterday, it wasn't so bad Saturday, but enjoying our town and the festivities that we have. That's all I have to say. Is
Thank you.
there a motion to adjourn? Yeah, we have to go into,
Yeah, we're gonna go into
Second.
closed session. I anticipate being in the closed session for approximately 1 hour. No formal action will be taken during or after the closed session. Thank you. All right, we are reconvening the public session. It's 7:24 PM. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you very much. Meeting adjourned.
thank
Second.
We
you.
only need one.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.